Welcome back. He took a chainsaw to the U.S. bureaucracy and went out without a bang. Tesla CEO Elon Musk announced last week his time as a special government employee was over. But his Department of Government Efficiency didn't come close to reaching its initial goal of slashing $2 trillion in federal spending. CBS News Sunday Morning correspondent David Pogue sat down with Musk and asked about the bad reputation DOGE developed as it cut federal jobs and budgets.
It's a bit unfair because DOGE became the whooping boy for everything. So if there was some cut, real or imagined, everyone would blame DOGE. I've had people think that somehow DOGE is going to stop them from getting their Social Security check, which is completely untrue.
And David Pogue joins us now. Boy, you've had a week, David. I can just imagine your mentions after, really, this was such a widely cited interview. One of the things that you note in your report was that Musk offered this pretty quickly and then tried to put limits on what you could ask as soon as it got underway. So why do you think Musk offered you this interview? And did you get the answers that you expected?
You know, the gathering at SpaceX on Tuesday was 5 reporters, 4 space reporters, and me.
Wow.
So it's clear to me that he was there to talk about space, to emphasize that he's re-entering society. I had been told by his people that any questions were fine. And in fact, we went over the topics I'd hoped to cover with his people on the spot. Somehow that never got back to Elon. So I think he wanted to just talk about space, and it was sort of a reputational repair tour, perhaps. Did I get the answers I wanted? He dodged some of them, but then he more than made up for it by just volunteering the stuff about how he doesn't like the Trump spending bill, and he disagrees with Trump in a lot of ways.
Which is very telling. And Musk did give somewhat diplomatic answers to your questions about Trump's policies and how they could negatively impact many of Musk's businesses. Let's just listen to a portion of that.
I noticed that all of your businesses involve a lot of components, a lot of parts. Do the tariffs and the trade wars affect any of this?
You know, tariffs always affect things a little bit.
Wondering what your thought is on the ban on foreign students. The proposal, I mean, you were one of those kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to stick to, the subject of the day, which is spaceships, as opposed to, presidential policy.
So what do you make of that, David? He dodges your questions on those topics, but he volunteers that he doesn't agree with the budget, which effectively, as you note, erases all of the work of DOGE. What do you make of that?
I think it had to do with the timing. The clip you just played was the very beginning of the interview. And let me tell you, he came in angry to this interview. I don't know why. Maybe he had just been told that there would be questions other than space questions. But at the very beginning, he gave, one-sentence answers, wanted to get out of it. And then I think he warmed up in time. He saw that this was going to be wide-ranging. There were some space questions. And that's why I think he finally felt comfortable enough to talk about his discomfort with some of the Trump stuff.
And after the interview, just in our last few seconds, anything that happened that also you'd like to share that's noteworthy?
Well, it was a nerve-wracking story because Musk is very polarizing. So far I've been beaten up by both the left and the right for being too hard on Musk and being too soft on Musk. So I think I threaded the needle.
There you go. That's always how you can tell, right? David Pogue, great interview. We encourage folks to head online and watch it now. Thanks for joining us.